All right, ladies, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. So today we're going to be talking about 6 signs that he doesn't like you as much as you do. And these 6 signs are things that I just notice women struggling with, because sometimes when you have emotions riddling your perception, it's going to be difficult for you to see if the signs that he's giving you is real or not. So as a result, you need someone who's out there, me, to give you the proper signs that he doesn't like you, to help you see from a different perspective whether or not he's actually interested, or whether or not you're just creating these illusions with your own mind simply because you want him to like you. You see, it's called confirmation bias, where if you want the guy to like you, you're gonna see that he likes you, but if you believe that he doesn't like you, you're gonna start seeing signs that he doesn't like you. So you need someone out there who can think, who's sane and whatnot, to help you see whether or not he likes you. And these signs are, hello Georgia. And these signs are things that I've seen, and that I've seen in my experience, right? And so I'm talking from my experience, and these are, mind you, because I've had decent experience with women. These are things that I know that if I show these signs, it just means that the guy's losing interest. All right. So let's just start. All right. So the first one is when you have to Google whether or not he likes you. Uh, um, So if you have to go to Google to find out whether or not he likes you, something's going on. See, something there is something he's showing, something that shows you that he doesn't like you. You see, because when you're having to ask people, is he still interested in me? It means that you're not seeing something that was there before. A lot of the times, you 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 catch on little signs that are very subtle and you don't notice it, but you notice it in a feeling of something's not right. You see, that's how it works. And so that's one of the first signs that you just have to Google whether or not he likes you. Again, a lot of the times, because you're paranoid and you may be fucking crazy, you may think that he's gonna cheat on you. You're always asking who's the bitch. But for the most part, if that's going on, then that means that you're not getting the confirmation that you need on a consistent basis. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's something that you should definitely be wary of when you feel like things are not right. All right. The second one is when he doesn't call back. Not when he doesn't text back, but when he doesn't call back. I'm telling you this. Everyone can agree with me that whenever that the sign that the relationship's going down in your side, in your perspective, when you're losing interest from a guy, is that you stop calling him back. He sees phone calls and you don't call them back. Motherfucker, man. I see your phone calls. Okay? Like, no, I know you saw me calling you. You're not picking up the phone call. Like, when someone doesn't do that, it's a sign that they just don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, they're just like, eh, yeah, eh. You see? Because when someone calls you and you know them, you pretty much, you gotta call them back, or something's wrong, or you text him or whatnot. But if you're noticing that when you call him, rather than calling you, he texts you back, it's not as bad, but it's something you got to notice. All right, just become aware of those kind of things. All right. So the third one is when you feel like you're doing all the work. When you're calling him, you got to prepare like a little list of things to talk about. Like, all right, I'm gonna talk about this, and if something goes wrong, I'm gonna talk about this. Because if you feel like you're putting in work, like you're putting in, like you have to put in the effort, you're thinking of what to say next when there's an awkward silence, and you're not relaxed around them, it means that he's not putting in the work. Because when you like someone, talking to them is effortless. Talking to them is something that you don't even think about. Talking to them is something you don't even Google or go to Alex from Mind for Attraction for. It's something you just do. Like, you don't learn how to have a conversation with your friends. You don't Google how to have a conversation with your parents, depending on their relationship. But that's a key. Is that when you're struggling to have a conversation with someone, it just means that the relationship is off. If you're noticing a lot of boring moments, you guys are texting each other, like you guys are just on the phone when you guys are together, you guys are not really interacting or experiencing that rapport, that synchronicity you feel when you're having a good conversation with someone, it means that one of the parties are not engaging. And if you feel like you're putting in the work and you want it, but it's just not there, it means that he's not there mentally. See? So that's one thing. So the third one is it the third one? Yeah, the fourth one, when he gives you short responses. This is something that's big. I mean, and it just means that he's just not interested in texting you. When you like someone, you feel the need to give more than is required. You feel the need to give. When he says what are you up to, he texts. The response is like a long ass text message. And we're like, oh, goddamn shit, I didn't need to know that much. you know. And so when someone's interested in you, they'll do more than necessary. So if you're noticing that you're texting him and he's not giving you the responses that you like, and the responses are very short, or better word or worse, that if you notice the text message when you guys first started and now you notice that the text messages have decreased, he's not texting you first as often, that's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that when a guy texts you little short lines is a problem, but the problem is when it's inconsistent. The problem is when it drops off, when there's a lack of continuity in his pattern. When suddenly he went from texting you a lot to nothing. Or suddenly, if you notice in the steady decline over the times, these are the things you got to look at. All right. The fifth one is when the conversations are not effortless. This relates to what I was talking about earlier. If you notice, you got to think about what to say next, and that your conversational skills you feel like is not as good, it simply means that they're not interested in you, for the most part. When you talk and he gives you a response that doesn't really help you elaborate on more, or he doesn't share anything about himself in the responses that you give him with the questions. And so that's one thing. Again, a big one is when the conversation just will go stale. You notice in the phone conversation, there's no spark. Now, a lot of the times, there's no spark because the initial emotions of the relationship is not as strong as it used to be. And that's normal. But when you add on that he's not calling you back, he's not texting you as often, you see, and that you've noticed you're putting a lot of effort, you may not see that he's cheating, but the writing's on the wall. And this is something that every single person who's had a relationship have realized. And this is like, you kind of like get scared shitless when you see this, because it's kind of like, oh shit, the signs are there. Like you see it, you see? Number 6, when he doesn't react to your non-response. This is the big one, the big one. Because a lot of times the tactics that I use, the tactics that I teach women are tactics based on helping you see the things that are there. Like in the previous video, because I just posted a video about about the truth about making a guy fall in love with you. These tactics are not about making a guy like you, but rather about speeding up the process of either showing that he loves you, bringing out the love, or speeding up the process of showing that he's not interested. So when you don't respond to him, and he doesn't react, he doesn't give a fuck, like you notice it that he doesn't notice when you don't text. Lord have mercy, my goodness. When he doesn't text you back as much as he used to. Oh my bad, I got distracted. When he God damn it. Sorry about that. I can't be doing this in public, man. Just too many women walking by. But he doesn't react to your non-response. That's a problem. For example, it's kind of like if you cry in front of him. Like I always say, use tears in order to get the guy to react. So when you cry in front of him, he doesn't really emotionally react to your crying. That's a problem. You see? So if he's not reacting to your non-response or show of emotions, it's time to look at my video, How to Find a New Boyfriend. You see? Because that's a sign that he just doesn't feel the emotion to respond to you. He doesn't feel like he's gonna lose anything because he doesn't want you. When you stop texting him and he doesn't register in his mind, it means that he has other more important things to worry about that is not you. You see? So it's one of the things, man. Like it really does hurt the ego when that happens, because it's happened to me too. Like those were the signs that she just stopped texting me as often. She stopped messaging me as often. And like the phone calls were more rigid. It wasn't as interesting as it used to be. And I felt like I had to do more work. And sometimes because you like the person, you have confirmation bias where you're looking for evidence that goes against reality. And that's what emotions do to you. They dwindle your perception. You see the world through a squinted view, through a fog of emotions. And you don't see reality. And that's why I'm here, to wake you the fuck up. All right, so let me look at some comments. Thank you guys. You know what's the thing is, I know you guys think I'm funny, but a lot of these videos I don't try to be funny. I just try to have fun, and I'm glad you guys think I'm kind of funny. All right, some people in my life need to fucking read some of your messages to realize that I'm funny, so they can laugh at my jokes. Oh man. So yeah, let's look at some of the comments. All right, let me see if you guys are praising me. I like when people praise me. It makes me feel good. It raises my self-esteem. By the way, are you guys watching my podcast? Look, ladies. Okay, I'm gonna post a link to my podcast, Spreaker. I'm gonna post a link to my podcast so you guys can check it out, because you guys are supposed to be watching my podcast. So go there, download the podcast, download all of the videos that are on there. We'll post it in the comment section right here. Boom, right? And if you guys are just starting watching this video, then you guys are gonna see it later on. But yeah, go to that's my podcast. I have 3 episodes up. I'm gonna post another one tomorrow. Do guys play hard to get to? Yes, guys play hard to get, but we suck at it the most. But it's easy to find out if he's playing hard to get by giving him space. So somebody asked me, do guys play hard to get? So yeah, like if a guy's playing hard to get, that means he's just feeling himself. So what you got to do is take a step back, like literally just take a step back and stop texting him and see what happens. Again, once again, if the guy's actually interested, he's gonna react to your non-response. If he's not interested, then he's not gonna react to your non-response. And so if you are afraid of doing this, then that means that you're just looking for an outcome and you don't want reality, but you have to do it is because if you are afraid, if you are afraid of doing a tactic because he may not he may or may not like you, then you got to assess the perception. Where are you coming from about this? Are you looking for, are you trying to get validation from him, or are you being yourself? Which is to say, you do things not because you're getting a reaction, but because you're more expressing yourself. You say a compliment not because you want to impress him, but because you're expressing yourself. See what I'm saying? All right. Yes, I am in New York City. I'm in Union Square. Let me show you guys. This is the little area right now. It's a nice little look at that. Right? It's a nice little place. Little flowers, little sentient beings right there. Um, well, the you wait at least. I mean, it depends. It depends on the frequency. The question was, how long do you wait for non-response when he doesn't respond back? You wait, like let's say that you guys. Let's say that you used to texting him every day, right? Then you takes 2 days. If you used to texting him every 2 days, text him after 4 days, and within those times of your non-response, what you should do then is just like a status of it, like one or two little statuses. Just let him know you're there. Let him know that that you exist. But nevertheless, that shouldn't be the case because if he likes you, he knows you exist. You're gonna be in his mind all the time. So your non-response is gonna be eating him away. So if he likes you, then he's gonna find that to be torturous. He's gonna text you after a couple days. So what you should do, if you used to text him every day, wait 2 days, and then after 2 days, text him again, and then wait another like a week and say, hey, how you been? I hope you haven't been kidnapped and whatnot, and just go about it that way because you have to. I say that if he doesn't respond after 2 or 3 text messages, delete his number. And after you delete his number, if he does text you back, just give him the who's this, like who's this, right? And be honest. Just say, look, I thought you lost interest. Little squirrel. Um, yes, it works for gay couples. Trust me, man. Men are men, all right? Men are men. It works for gay couples. Like somebody asked me if these tactics work on gay couples. These tactics work on everyone. It doesn't matter the age. Every single person is looking for validation. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter how enlightened they are. If you're able to mess around with a person's self-esteem, even though it's not nice, you can pretty much make them do anything you want. Oh, my bad. You can pretty much make them do anything you want. How can I stop making mistakes when talking to him and realizing them moments after? So you keep making mistakes because you keep being too emotional. You're too emotional in the moment. So what you have to do then is simply become aware of moments of needs. Ask yourself on a consistent basis, am I trying to feel better? The reason why a lot of women make mistakes in dating is not because they can't make the mistakes, because we do have the knowledge to act the right way, because we give pretty good advice to our friends. We just cannot apply the advice that we give. So what's the problem? The problem is not that you don't know, but the problem is that your emotions hinder you from accessing certain memories. For example, it's kind of like when you hate someone. When you feel hate, you suddenly cannot think of the good things that the person did for you. You can only think about the bad stuff, because certain emotions allow you certain access to certain emotions and certain actions and certain reactions. But when you are depressed, you can only think of depressive thoughts, because the depression cannot let you access emotions of happiness, thoughts of happiness. It's the same thing. Is that when you feel needy, you cannot access the things that you have to do. You cannot access emotions of confidence. You cannot act confident because the emotion doesn't let you do that. So what you have to do is not trying to change the emotion, but rather become aware of the emotion. Notice the emotion as it arises, and mind you, the only reason why the emotion controls you is because you're trying to feel better. You're trying to remove the emotion of neediness through his validation. So what you have to do then is, rather than trying to, Lord in heaven, rather than try to, I'm so sorry guys, this is a habit of mine. Like, this is why I can't eat. I can't live in my hand, because you can't eat. You can't live where you play. But what was I saying? Jesus Christ! Not lost.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yeah, Okay.
We have the other table because this is our table.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
I thought it was a park because it's
No, no,
green.
no. We provide this for the
Ah,
public, not the park. And we have another one over there.
mhm.
Two more. You can go finish there.
Of course. Thank
You
you.
still can get internet and everything.
All right.
Okay, Kevin, can you take this to the back? Sorry about that.
Nah, that's cool. All right. Interruptions, but there's one thing. Go somewhere else here. But yeah, that's one of those things, yo. Like, so what you have to do then is just ask yourself, am I trying to feel better when you feel bad? You see, nah, that's cool. When you feel, because the emotion that you're feeling right now, right? Look at this. They can't stop me. They can't stop me. Um, technical difficulties. So yeah. So right. So what's the same? So yeah, when you feel depression, right? When you feel like when you're trying to please them, when you're in front of them, and you're trying to say, "Oh, let me say this to get him to like me. Let me say this to get him to not like me. No, to get him to like me." What you're really trying to do, you're trying to feel better, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to feel better. So the solution then is to ask yourself, "Am I trying to feel better?" Observe if you're trying to feel better. Don't observe analytically, but observe with the emotion, like with your attention. Just notice if you're trying to feel better. Right? And once you notice that you're trying to feel better, ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped trying to feel better for 1 minute? Just for 1 minute. And you notice that you relax. And now that relaxation, that tension was released. The tension that you used, the tension that you thought, the tension that you felt, that you thought that the remedy was the guy's validation, suddenly it's done. So now you don't need to get him to like you. You see what I'm saying? Now your actions not predicated based on needs. It's just predicated based on who you are. And so you do this more often, like throughout the day, when you're walking down the street, when you're texting someone, and you feel the need to respond, ask yourself, am I trying to feel better? Observe what's going on inside of you. And then ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped trying to feel better for 1 minute? Immediately, the tension releases. And then the action you take is not based on that emotion, but based on your own desires. And so that's how you're going to be yourself. And when you're in that place, there's nothing you could do. Like, because you're not acting needy, there's nothing else you could do. So you just gotta let the chips fall where they be. You see, and that's how you could be yourself, no matter the situation and whatnot. So yeah, I went through all the 6 signs. You just gotta look back at it. Yeah. I mean, it's just a comment. I love how you didn't dwell on that lady telling you to move. Look, man. All right, she acts nicely. All right. I'm kidding around. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, you see, this is one thing about life is that you get unexpected things. You see, and if my goal was to finish the video without getting interrupted, I would have been pissed off. We're like, fuck this shit, right? But you got to remain open, willing to be interrupted at any moment, so that when you do get interrupted, you're not like, fuck, I hope I don't get interrupted. And suddenly when someone interrupts you, boom, you get caught. It's kind of like going into a store about a shoplift, because you go into a store about a shoplift, you're more tense. You see, and you're afraid of somebody catching you. So as a result, you're gonna look suspicious because you're like, oh fuck, I hope somebody doesn't catch me. And when somebody catches you, what's gonna happen? You're gonna feel the surge of adrenaline in your body, and that's all because you would be behind your head and in the back of your mind, you're like, I hope somebody doesn't catch me. You see, so when you're relaxed, you say, you know what? Let me take action, and let me take right action and let the chips fall where they be. And so you're not gonna have that underlying thought in your mind, that underlying stress of, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope he doesn't reject me. But rather, you're like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine, whatever happens. And now you're not walking on eggshells anymore. You're more being yourself. You see? Um, yeah. It says I would it says that I would have been bad. I'm reading a comment. It said I would have been mad if they would have done that to me, moving me out. But that's why you gotta be relaxed, be chilled, have a couple drinks prior to making the video. Not have a little beer, but it doesn't make a difference. But generally speaking, that's how I am. Like, when you practice pickup, when you're learning how to talk to girls, something you get used to is interruptions. You get used to interruptions. You get used to things that go unexpectedly. So it becomes more of a muscle to stay relaxed when things go unexpectedly. You see, and that's more of a muscle. You train it, and you train it through being aware of the present moment. All right. Um, Alex, can an ex be stubborn to say he doesn't not feel for you? Um, an ex will act that he doesn't like you only because he's trying to save face, to try to look like, like he doesn't care. All right. Now, the way that you can tell that he still likes you, if is does he keep messaging you? Does he keep asking you to hang? And does he keep asking about your life? How does he react when he sees you with another man. Um, and it's pretty much if an ex likes you, it means that if an ex likes you, you usually see them contacting you more often. That's a huge sign of an ex liking you. One, do you recommend using jealousy to get an ex back after we broke up because of trust issues? Yes. Um, but it depends. If you were the one that fucked up, then don't do it because you're back in the same spot. But if he was the one that fucked up, then go ahead do it. But mind you, you gotta have a cutoff point. Have a predisposed cutoff points about the things that you are willing to accept and not willing to accept. Because when you want someone so much, you don't have a cutoff point. What's gonna happen is that your emotions are gonna be the things relegating the cutoff point. And for the most part, because your emotions are so needed, it's gonna say, you know what, I'll accept him cheating on me just one time, right? And then suddenly, just you say to yourself, you know what, I'll let him do that one more time. The reason why that's happening is because you didn't set an outright standard about what you expect and what you're not gonna expect from him. So you got to write it out so that your logic and reason is the thing that guides you with these decisions rather than emotions. So yeah, it's one of those things. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Um, I hope you guys have a good day. Can't believe she interrupted me, right? How dare she? Doesn't she know who I am? Doesn't she know I have 28,000, 26,000 subscribers? No, I'm kidding. Like, I've only, see, I thought she was gonna recognize me when she came up to me. I was like, oh, hey, I thought she was gonna say, hey, you're Alex. Oh my God, I want to say hi, but it wasn't that. I've only been recognized once, and the few times that I've been like, one time it was when I met Bill De Blasio in Park Slope. This girl came up to me. It was my first day in New York City, and she was like, "Hey, aren't you Alex?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Alex." She was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Oh, fuck you, bitch! Damn, I thought you were gonna be excited." No, I didn't say fuck you, bitch. I just don't think you so much, right? But then I was like, because it was my first day, I was like, man, this is gonna be good. People are gonna recognize me. I'm gonna be famous, right? Nobody has recognized me yet. And like the few times when someone comes up to me, like there were a few times when I thought they were gonna recognize me, right? And I was walking down the street, and and somebody came up to me, like 3 times, 3 girls came up to me, and they were like, "Excuse me." And, someone comes up to you, you're like, "Oh, they're gonna recognize me." They were like, "Do you know where Starbucks is?" And I'm like, "God damn it, Starbucks is that way." Like Starbucks is that way, man. God damn it, man. They come up to me for some fucking direction, not to like, oh my God, your channel. Oh man, that's so funny. That's cool though. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not mad though. I'm not mad at all. Not mad at all. But anyways, that's it. Yeah, that's it for one day, man. I'm happy you guys are enjoying this. I'm gonna go home right now, relax, make some food, right, and go play basketball. And if you guys are in need of one-on-one coaching, just go to mindfulattraction.org/coach in the pocket or mindfulattraction.org/in-game coaching. You guys are gonna see my the services that I offer. And also, if you guys have questions, just put it in the comment sections. And again, I don't mind answering questions, but I don't answer questions through email or through Facebook or Instagram. Just to let you guys know, because I got way too many of them, way too many questions, and so it's not feasible for me to ask a question through them because I'm getting way too many of them. So yeah, if you guys have questions, all you gotta do is just make sure to catch me on live stream. And also, I'm gonna post the link to my goddamn podcast. I thought they were gonna remove this table. I was like, God damn it, guys. I see you, girl, looking at me. I see you. Um, but yeah, have a good day and check out the podcast and bye bye. Yeah. By the way, look, here's my skateboard. Right? Look at this. All right, look at this sexy ass skateboard right here. Look at that shit, right? Oh, it's dirty. It's a dirty little skateboard. Dirty little skateboard, right? Oh yeah. I thought it was like a swastika for a second there. I thought it was a swastika. I was like, what? I was like, God damn, shit. All right, that's it. I gotta make some food. I'm hungry as fuck. Bye bye.